Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dupes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man to go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
Queen.
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. But before we do, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, let's see who is in here. Claudette, Reggie, Cookie, DJ Big Six, Nessa G is in the house. All right, let's get into it. Queen Huey. Okay, Christopher Perkins, shout out to you, beloved. All right, Desmond is in here. Okay, so shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. We the people, I see you, beloved. All right, so let's get ready to get into it. Everybody hit that like button. Also, don't forget to double check and make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel because people mysteriously become unsubscribed. And specifically, if you have not been receiving your notifications. Okay, Christopher Perkins says, keep very clearly articulating real professional Black political media news work daily with a genius perspective. I love it, Christopher. I'm going to have to make you my publicist. I'm going to have to hire Christopher to be my publicist. Okay, hello, Tylene. So let's get into it. Before we start talking about this documentary, The Perfect Neighbor, that is on Netflix, and there may be some Spoiler alerts, okay? There may be some spoilers in here, so spoiler alert. But before we get into that, let's talk about this former NFL player by the name of Doug Martin, who was 36 years old and has passed away in police custody. Now, I have not read this. Hey, most hated bronze flat power god, Reggie is in the building. Deronda, all right, let's get into it. Um, I have not read this, so we're going to get into it together. And someone earlier in the chat when I was doing the morning broadcast, and if you didn't see the morning broadcast, please go back and watch, honey, because the White House is trying to go in on the person who leaked those racist and vile text messages, okay, rather than going in on the persons who made the text messages. They're going in on the person who actually leaked them. Say that he's going to get consequences. JD Vance called the person, referred to them as a scumbag, so to speak. Okay, so make sure you check that out and other news on Trump just being nefarious and lawless. Okay, so anyway, before we get into that, let's talk about this football player who turned up dead in police custody. Earlier this morning for the morning live, someone asked me to talk about it or told me to look into it. And then OG Patrice asked me, emailed me about it. Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm first going to go to a clip where he was being interviewed briefly. Someone was talking to him for about 2.5 minutes. This is, of course, before this tragic news. So for those of you who don't know who he is, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
There's another nickname that's up on the list. I think the Juggernaut.
Hold on, I forgot my overlay. I don't need any copyright claims.
That I probably prefer, but I also prefer, my real name, Doug Martin. My name is Doug Martin.
Doug Martin, a former NFL running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Oakland Raiders, has died. He was 36 years old.
Okay, so he is passed away. Now let's talk about what happened. Okay, they report a few hours ago, former NFL player Doug Martin dies in police custody in California. And so they say he was an NFL running back, died at age of 36 while in police custody. The Oakland Police Department said the former American football star, who played for teams including the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, died after being involved in an alleged home break-in and a struggle with officers on Saturday. They say while attempting to detain the individual, a brief struggle ensued, the department claims, adding that Martin became unresponsive and was taken to the hospital where he later died. His family announced his passing and said his cause of death was unconfirmed. They say it is with great sadness to inform you that Doug Martin passed away Saturday morning. This is what his family said via social media. Family asked for privacy at this time, and they say in a statement, Martin's former team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, said they were deeply saddened to learn of the sudden and unexpected passing of Doug Martin. From his record-setting rookie season in 2012 to his multiple Pro Bowl selections during his 6 seasons as a Buccaneer, Doug made a lasting impact on our franchise. That's what the team says. Now, born in Oakland, California, Martin was Tampa Bay's first-round pick in 2012 of the NFL draft. During his first season, Martin rushed for 1,454 yards and made 11 touchdowns. Martin spent 6 of his 7 NFL seasons playing for the Buccaneers and was nicknamed the Muscle Hamster because of his high strength despite being relatively short for a professional player at 5'9". And so that's why they called him that. But he struggled with injuries and was also suspended in 2016 for 4 games for violating the NFL's rug with a D policy after testing positive for a banned substance. Now, he apologized and went to a rug treatment facility. He also played for the Oakland Raiders, which is now in Las Vegas, at the end of his career in 2018. Okay, now they don't really address how he died. Let's go to this next article. This is from an hour ago. NBC reports Oakland police confirm former NFL running back Doug Martin died in police custody. All right, they say prior to his death, he was involved in a break-in at a residence. The Oakland police said in a statement, while responding officers were attempting to detain him, a brief struggle occurred. Now, when they say a brief struggle occurred, That could mean anything. They're not really being transparent here, in my opinion. I don't believe anything the police say until I see video footage. Okay, because we know how the police lie when it comes to people who look like us. I want to see the footage. When they say struggling, what do they mean? A brief struggle. Did they just come in and shoot him? Because that's what they do sometimes. Isn't that what they did to Sonia Massey and many others, Philando Castile and whatnot? So I have questions. Okay, the fact that they're not being very transparent and giving, they're not going in depth about the details. So for me, that's problematic. Makes me think that something sketchy likely happened. And if I know the police, and I think I do, then it likely did. Okay, that's just my opinion. So, and I'm not saying all police, but we know there are some crooked ones. So anyway, with that all being said, they say the brief struggle occurred after being taken into custody. Martin became unresponsive. Paramedics responded to the scene, provided medical aid, and transported Martin to a local hospital where he later died. Now, this is after being taken into custody, he became unresponsive. Why was he taken into custody and not the ambulance called in the first place after the so-called brief struggle? Because didn't they know that he was injured during that brief struggle? Well, of course they did. You know how I know they knew? They had to have known that he was injured during that quote unquote brief struggle because minutes later or shortly thereafter, he was unresponsive. So he didn't just all of a sudden just appear unresponsive out of the blue. There had to be some sort of injuries to him to make him all of a sudden become unresponsive after that brief struggle. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. Now, they say paramedics responded to the scene, provided medical aid, and transported Martin to a local hospital where he later died. That's not telling us a darn thing. A brief struggle, unresponsive, and then dead at the hospital. What happened exactly during the brief struggle? Okay, was he cracked upside the head? Did someone kneel on his neck? Did someone apply pressure to his back? Was he held down? Was he in a position to which he was having difficulty breathing? Was he shot? Did they let the K9s attack him? I have several questions. This is not telling us a darn thing. This is not telling us one single thing, okay? They say multiple agencies are investigating the situation. A cause of death for Martin, who was 36, has not been disclosed. Previously, the Oakland Police Department had issued a statement regarding the incident without naming the person who was involved. Honey, we need all eyes on this to find out what the hell happened because they are not giving up any receipts. Okay? And when they don't give up receipts, I have several questions. So I definitely will be keeping you all updated on this to find out what the hell happened. Where is the body cam footage? And how soon are you going to release it? And don't give us the BS about you're not going to release it because there's a pending investigation. Because that's what they always say when they did something shady. But when they think that they're in the right, that's when they come out with it quickly, within 48 hours even, if not faster. Okay? That's right. Tasty Cake said multiple agencies working on it, yet no body cam footage. Exactly. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on now. Before we get into this documentary, I have to tell you all about this. Does anybody know Bishop Marvin Winans? Of course, we all know the Winans family. Let me tell you all what he did. I find it interesting. Let's go to the footage, honey, because these pastors are getting out of pocket. Okay, and I blame some of you. I blame the Christians who go there and give these pastors their darn money and can't pay their own bills because you're too busy giving your hard-earned dollars to the pastor as if he's God and meant to be praised and worshiped. He is not. Okay, newsflash, he is not. Your pastor is not God nor Jesus. Your pastor is not out here performing miracles. He's not out here paying your bill, healing the sick, raising the dead. Your pastor, I guarantee you, is not doing any of it. Any of the miracles performed in the Bible came from Jesus and the Most High. Okay, please stop giving these darn pork chop pastors and pulpit pimps all your darn money. They don't deserve it. While they ride around in luxury vehicles, living in mansions on hilltops, have private helicopters and jets, and you all are sitting there struggling to pay your darn bills. Okay, we're in a whole recession here. Now, I'm going to need y'all to wake the hell up, okay? This is all getting out of pocket. Now, I want y'all to hear what this man had the nerve to say to this lady and her son who gifted him $1,200. Oh, but that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough because he wanted $2,000. $2,000? Are you serious? This is what they're asking, a pop from each person in the congregation. I would walk into a church and a pastor asked me for $2,000, I just might slap him. I just might put paws on him. You asked me for $2,000 in church when you know that this whole country is going to hell in a handbasket. You should be praying us up out of this recession is what you should be doing. You should be gifting money to your congregation, to the members who can't afford to pay their bills. But no, pork chop pastors and pulpit pimps, they only want what's beneficial to them. And that's your money. Okay, go read the Bible. Look up the part where it talks about tithing. It's not talking about giving up 10% of your earnings. Okay, so y'all gonna need to wake up. Now let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. This is ridiculous.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand.
I know she didn't. Y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? So wait a second now. Her $1,235 because she gave $1,000 and then $235. And then said she would work on the other 800. And he said, that ain't what I told y'all to do. See, y'all not listening. Is that how this is going out here? Is this what it is? I know they said pimping ain't easy. So is this how they're pimping these days? I'm gonna need all of y'all in this chat, everybody listen to this broadcast, to send the queen $2,000, not $1,235, not $1,500. I need 2 stacks from everybody. Are y'all serious? How come it didn't work for me? Reggie said, so they got them mesmerized. That's what it is. Leon said, no, he didn't. Greta said, straight pimping. Okay. Ooh, honey, this is all crazy. The Silky Danielle said, my old pastor got mad because people couldn't afford a dumb raffle. What? And raffles are nothing but a whole scam and con game too, beloved. They need to sit down. Do y'all hear this? I mean, it's the audacity of it for me. He told her, that ain't what I told y'all to do. So I'm sorry. He could have given me back my $1,235, honey, okay? I would have walked up out of there with it back in my purse. Because who the hell do you think you are, sir? Even further, who do you think you're talking to? Okay? This is all crazy. Reggie said, if I had it, I'd send it, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. Let's get into this documentary. All right, honey, I wouldn't dare ask y'all for $2,000. I'd be ashamed of myself. These pastors are crazy work, some of them. Now, I understand that the church has a building fund and needs to rely on donations from the congregation for its upkeep and whatnot. But, honey, asking for $2,000 from everybody at your mega church? Honey, please. And he ain't giving none of that money to God. I guarantee you that. All right, I'm going to have a talk with God tonight and find out where the money's going. Please pay attention. All right. Anyway, let's get into this documentary. Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with the case of Susan Lorenz, all of you who've been following me should be familiar with it because I went over this case. It's the story about a G.K. Jenkins who was a mother, and her children would be outside playing, and this racist devil named Susan, who I call Karen, she would come outside cursing the kids out, throwing things at them, calling them the N-word, being very belligerent. Okay, now this Netflix documentary could have been done better, in my opinion. I'm not going to say it wasn't good. It was basically made from the body cam footage from the police department. Now, I'm going to show you all some of that body cam footage that's actually posted online, but that's all they did, is they put a bunch of police body cam footage together. I could have done that, Netflix. I could have done that. And matter of fact, why didn't Netflix, while they were at it, think to interview the family members? Talk to the children now to see where they are now. We're going to get into all of that. But I would have appreciated had they done that, had they possibly interviewed some of the neighbors who were witnesses to this woman's outlandish and erratic behavior prior to and on the day that Ajike was killed. I wish they had done that. That would have been so much better rather than just showing us all of the body cam footage that clearly we can find online. Okay, so anyway, let's get into it because here's how it all started. I'm going to go to the first body cam footage. Ajike was also, they were always having the police called on her kids by this stupid woman. The woman would say the kids are trying to steal her car. They're bothering her. They're making noise. They were just kids being kids. Okay, unlike J.D. Vance saying that those grown arse men 30 plus years old were kids being kids. Okay, these were actual children just doing what children do. Outside playing, trying to have a good time. And yes, they were noisy, but aren't we all as children when we're outside playing? Okay, and so anyway, I'm going to go to this body cam footage that was reported by WKMG News in Orlando. Okay, let's get into it. Lights up, everyone, please like and share.
The time my license doesn't match this, I was supposed to move, and then I ended up having the surgery, so I'll be moving shortly.
And you said you haven't been over here that long?
I've been here actually 2 years.
Okay, I think she's been here 3 years then.
Okay. But this actually has the correct address on the registration.
Okay. What time did this happen?
It was actually happening when I was calling you.
Okay.
So, like I said, at that point when I started calling you, because she wouldn't get out of my face, she just kept standing in front of me. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't.
And what's your social, if you know?
When you rent somewhere, it's not your property.
Consider, but to me, that's.
No, I know, but that part that's irrelevant. On what we're talking about public, and she shouldn't be over here. So if you saw her on this property and she said I wanted to trespass, you wouldn't trespass her? So yes.
So, well.
You would.
Come here, Wendy.
You gotta go. Okay. You got all the information?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna write it. You need to tell her not to come back over here, even with her dog. There's no right to be over here. She doesn't live here. So if that lady, if we came here and she was standing right here, and that lady said I want her to trespass or trespassing her. Yeah, we're good, buddy.
See, that's my thing. It's like
that's the law. You don't do that and something happens and you're supposed to trespass her, that's on you. Okay? When you rent a place, you're allowed to trespass people.
well, then I should have been able to do it with multiple cases. Okay. So, I'll just tell her no trespassing, just to speak on it. Both sides to say, hey, can't trespass. They don't have to write up anything about.
No, we do have. We're writing up a battery. That's with no arrest.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Okay, so let me just fill you all in. The lady Christopher said he can't make out what he's saying. Yeah, his voice is a bit muffled. Okay, so basically the officer was telling them they can't be trespassing. Susan Lorenz was complaining of a GK's children trespassing on her property. Now, of course, these residences were close together, but the children would be outside playing tag or playing ball, and they might run over into her yard. Okay, it's not like they were just coming over there and setting up shop. But whenever they did any of these things, she was constantly calling the police, constantly. And on the day that she killed a GK, this was because a GK's son, one of her sons, left a tablet. Okay, left a tablet outside, and Susan took it. So the child obviously knew that she had it, and he went to ask for it. And then she threw a skate at him. Okay, and they actually showed the skate. It was pretty big. She threw a skate at him. So he went and told his mother. So a GK comes over there knocking on her door, and she was mad, and who wouldn't be? Okay, you throw something at my son, I'm going to be mad too. So she came and she knocked on the door, and Susan fired through the door, killing her. Now, she set this whole thing up. That's why her behind is in prison now. She thought she was going to kill this woman who she couldn't stand because she's a whole racist, and she thought she was going to harass these people's children and just get away with it. She had a whole plan. Okay, what she did was diabolical, and that's why she's in prison, like I said. Because before she shot a GK, I'm going to let a little bit more of this play, and then we'll get into that.
I'd go give her a case number. Let her know that you're going to write up a battery investigation. Right now we're going to go check this door, this neighbor's camera real quick. Go see if they're home. If you want to go knock on that door where the ring camera is and see if they caught anything.
Okay.
You see it?
So we,
yeah, let's go see if let's go see
the doorbell.
Go finish that part.
You're all good. I'm just gonna make sure to check out some other things for you. There's property trespass sign she had over there. The other woman, Miss Susan, she picked it up to let her know it was her property. And then Miss Ajit had thrown it back to her. So I want to know if your camera picked up on any.
No,
You didn't pick nothing up?
no,
it's just how far is it? Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you know how far a camera shoots out? Like what it picks up? Does it pick up stuff in the street? Anything? No. You don't have a range set up on it?
No.
You don't have motion, I mean? That's what I meant. No? Alright, my
So
man.
you gotta get back.
Sorry to wake you up.
Yeah, I'm lost right now, but okay.
Yeah, that's right. We were just wondering if your camera picked anything up from what just happened. If it has motion. That's our main thing. Okay, yeah, because I guess there was a disturbance out here, so.
Okay, so the officers basically trying to find out if they had any door cams, ring door cams hooked up that possibly would have caught on camera the stuff that Susan's talking about. The lady was always lying on these children. She was always lying. She was a busybody, Tylene. She was always keeping up mess. She lied one day and said that a GK's son, one of the sons, was trying to put a little dog in her truck. And she would always accuse them of trying to steal her truck. These are children. Okay, how are they stealing your truck? They can't even drive. So she lied about that, and then when the police showed up and they're asking the neighbors about this dog that she claims the boy was trying to put in the truck, the guy starts laughing because he's like, that dog is this big. It was a huge dog, one of those big poodles. It was bigger than the kid just about. And she said that he was picking it up. She, first of all, said it was a small dog. Okay, so she lied completely and said he was trying to put it in her truck. Now, the reason she lied and said it was a small dog, in my opinion, is because she knows darn well she'd sound like a whole fool trying to explain to the officer how that little kid was trying to put that big-ass poodle in her truck. Okay, and why would they do that when they know how she is, that she's always calling the police? Okay, well, let's continue.
All right, man, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so since that is found out that is her property, she has a no trespass, so unfortunately that means can't go over there.
Well, that's fine. I mean, it's
Now, for those of you who don't know, this is a GK right here speaking with the police.
It doesn't matter if it's not hers. She rents there, just like you rent here. You wanted somebody to trespass from right here. You called us and we saw them on the property. They'd be trespassed. The next time we came out, they'd go to jail. Okay? That's the way that works.
all right. I mean,
You have the same right as she does. So, I mean, she doesn't want them over there. Don't have them over there. The landlord put a sign there for a reason. That is what it is. Okay?
absolutely.
Your baby's out here?
No, my kids are inside. They only come out to walk the dog. And maybe if we're home by daylight for them to play. Like I was gonna let them play because they never get to play. Yeah, literally. I told him, I said, stay on this side, and he wasn't even lingering here. He was behind the building.
I just wouldn't even have him go over there because it's an issue every time.
Here it is.
I know, I'm sorry. It is what it is.
I've had the same issue, but
Okay, so here's the thing. The officer was telling her right. He said, I just wouldn't have them going over there because it's always an issue. It is what it is. This is true because the cops were having to come here all the time because she was always calling the police on people's children, not just a G case, other children in the neighborhood as well, but specifically a G case because they lived closer. They were like right across from her. Okay, so that's why he was telling her, just try to keep them from over there because this lady is problematic.
Let's get her a case number.
Regina. Yes.
okay.
It's okay.
No problem. I understand how you feel. Believe me, that's why I got a house.
Yeah,
I
this is our
couldn't.
last year.
I couldn't.
Prayerfully. This is it.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space? With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right.
And it's Susan. So right now, I'm gonna issue a card to you.
Okay.
With the case number on it.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna write it up as a battery. Just no arrest can be made at this time.
Okay.
All right. But it has been known to her that this is your property, and for them not to come back on.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You told him. I mean, it's not. We can't be out here all the time to make them. I would try and ask the landlord to try and get you a camera. Maybe if he could do that. I don't know, since he's probably selling the place.
Unfortunately,
Now,
not
here's the thing.
It's already for sale.
Here's the thing. He told her that he would get the landlord to get her a camera. She could get her own camera. Okay, if she wanted to record. She didn't want to record these incidents, in my opinion, because she was lying a lot of the times. A lot of the times she was lying on those children. So she didn't want to record it because then the truth would be shown.
He told me he was selling it. I actually had started the mortgage application process. So I was going to buy it. I thought it was going to be a cute little investment, but I'm not going to be threatened by people with my everything.
No, I understand that. It's not worth it.
No.
Okay, so this.
Put them on there.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, put those at the bottom.
I just didn't expect people to reach.
Yep. And if you want to go, be able to try and go to the courthouse and do it that way.
What's her name so I can get a restraining order?
It'll be on the report.
Will it? Okay.
Yep.
So,
It's going to be active right now.
Okay.
And we'll call you. We're going to try, maybe if something else pops up, like someone had video or something, we'll call you back in a couple days and check with you. And if we don't have anything further, then we'll close it and then just go up to one of the district offices.
Okay, now this video that you just witnessed was recorded on February the 22nd, or I'm sorry, February the 25th of 2022. February the 25th of 2022. Now we're going to go to the next body cam footage that I have, and this is from April the 17th of 2023. And I'm sure there were plenty more times that she called in between, but this is the next one we're going to. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. And this one is from Law and Crime, so I'm going to be using an overlay.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Aggravated. A Florida woman accused of shooting her neighbor over a trespassing dispute pleads not guilty in court. All this as newly released body camera video gives us an inside look at a year-long feud leading up to the shooting.
I don't know what his problem is. This guy in the next building, and there's no trespassing signs. The kids have been out of control. They're screaming, yelling.
Hold on, beloveds. I'm sorry. Before I show that footage, I'm going to show the children speaking to the police. Okay, let's go to that one first. And we'll go to that one. Now this, hold on. Hold on just a second, beloveds. Okay, I think it's actually the same video. It could be the same video. Okay, so anyway, let me just go back to that one. Likes up, everyone, please like and share.
Aggravated. A Florida woman accused of shooting her neighbor over a trespassing dispute pleads not guilty in court. All this as newly released body camera video gives us an inside look at a year-long feud leading up to the shooting.
I don't know what his problem is. This guy in the next building, and there's no trespassing signs. The kids have been out of control. They're screaming, yelling.
The body camera video also shows officials speak with the victim months before she's gunned down.
It's funny because I'm the one that never comes outside and says anything, so let's.
58-year-old Susan Lorenz is now charged with manslaughter in the June 2nd shooting death of Ajika A.J. Owens in Ocala, Florida. Officials say Lorenz shot at Owens through a locked metal door over a disagreement involving Owens' children who'd been playing in an open field near Lorenz's apartment. Leading.
I'm not trying to be a bitch, but from here, so I didn't have to listen to the screaming and yelling. As soon as I move the truck, the kids are coming up. I'm like, guys, stop. They know they're not supposed to be over here. They've been told many times. They've previously stolen the trespassing sign.
But sheriff's deputies hear conflicting information when speaking to neighbors.
He trotted through the twilight woods. His thick, russet tail, a mark of his prime, swung with a confident.
He'll even come outside and play football with the kids or play.
So I figure, well, if the cops are there, it's probably she keeps calling every time. I mean, it's just over stupidity. Literally, kids just going around. She keeps posting signs over here. I mean, we all live here. Kids play over there. It's an open field, whatever. She keeps messing around with the kids, and the kids sometimes they go like, they start cursing at her, and I'm like, you know what? No, don't do that. You gotta respect her. She's an adult. You know what I mean? But she's not all there. And
During one of these calls, Lorenz asks sheriff's deputies to trespass children she alleges are near her rental property, but officials explain that won't quite work.
You don't have sole control over the parking lot. There's 4 people here.
Yeah, but those children don't live here. I mean, they literally live across the street on the other side. They don't.
I understand what you're telling me, and I get it, but you don't have sole power to say, hey, they can't be in this parking lot.
But he's asked them to leave. I mean, you can call Charles. I mean,
I'm just telling you it's trespassing. It's the first time's civil because it's not. It doesn't become criminal until they're warned.
okay, but he's already told them no trespassing.
Who's he?
All right, and he's just trespassing right now.
During this conversation, a neighbor approaches officials while they're speaking with Lorenz. She then accuses him of trespassing.
He's just trespassing right now.
Can I talk to you for a second when you get done?
He's
Yeah.
trespassing right now. He's trespassing.
He came over to come ask us a question.
And he's been
What do you need us to do? What do you want us to do?
Tell the girls not to come. They can't come on when I'm on the phone.
Okay.
I mean, literally, they cannot come on when I'm on the phone.
I mean, I can talk to him if I can figure out who they are, but
I mean, he needs to get, because he's screaming all the time, too.
okay.
He just needs to get off.
When officials speak with the neighbor, he claims Lorenz may not be all there. Mid-conversation, Lorenz interrupts them.
This is just an open field. You know, it belongs to both property. You know what I'm saying? So if the kids want to play there, whatever. And that's what I keep telling them. Hey, as long as you don't get in her door, you don't start throwing rocks, don't be cursing at her. It's okay. She can cut the cups whenever she wants. But and I was trying to reason with her one day because we were all playing here. You know, the kids, everything jumped. All right, let's go. And she's like, hey, you know what? One day you guys are gonna die. And I'm like, and that's when I like, whoa.
I'm getting too much feedback on the phone from the dog.
I'm sorry?
There's some place where he's not barking. Please, I'm getting too much feedback. I can't hear my customers. Dog, Tappy.
It's a dog. We can't stop the dog from barking.
Yeah, but it's too much feedback. Can you please at least go someplace where I'm not getting too much feedback?
That's
All right, well, you have a good one. Apparently, we can't stay here and have a conversation with shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. She's not over there, right?
Multiple times, first responders speak with children who say Lorenz calls them inappropriate names.
Were you the guys that this lady was mad about?
Yes, and I just want to say that every time, like even if we're not...
Hold on. Let's bring it down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Every time, even if we're not on her property and we're just like being loud and playing basketball over there because there's a basketball hoop.
I got you.
Like she just calls us names.
Okay.
Yeah, like literally, all the kids, because that's an open spot right there.
Yeah.
All that is not her property.
I got
The
you.
guy that I was telling this officer right here, this guy has said numerous times, y'all come over here and play, because they all like to play football and stuff.
Okay.
So she's okay with it, and that's where they mainly are. They're more on his side.
What kind of names is she calling you guys?
Retards, the B word.
The B word.
The P word, every word in the book. Like, one time the kids were playing right there, and it was his dad outside. And then she came out yelling at
Cowboy?
She came out yelling, and she was talking about a little girl getting raped and stuff. Like, she's crazy. Like, she'll come out just yelling
she
about...
just says weird. Like, I have said stuff to her before because one time I just happened to come outside, and she was calling them retards, and I'm like, hey, like, relax. I'm
Yeah.
like, these are kids here.
I got
She always calls her property, and she always be so racist, and they're playing over. And then the boys are playing.
She tells us to F off and stuff.
And she calls us an N-word.
So she lived right across the street, though.
No, she lives right there.
That's what
We
I'm saying.
play right here. We play right here. She's over there.
You see when
And
it's like
she
kick
come
off
out and
gas,
starts
she doesn't want us right there, but it's a problem when we
Get off my F4 property.
It ain't her property. We ain't worried about it.
Yeah, that's why
she be
We just
calling.
coming out here.
She be trying to call her
Yell
every
at y'all,
time.
that's
She
You gonna yell at us?
she asked,
Oh, yeah.
because every time I walk past, she thinks we're trying to steal her truck or buy her truck.
We're not even. We're 11.
Okay, yeah.
We're 11. We're up to 13,
Do you even know how to drive?
Sometimes the real breakthrough doesn't come from a vision board. It comes from sitting down with someone who helps you process.
No.
Officials also speak with the parents of children in the area who say their kids often play in an open lot outside of Lorenz's rental.
Yeah, they literally stay clear from over there. I make sure of that. You know?
I mean, even if they do that, we got like 15 kids out here that are like, and they're gonna do.
It might sound loud. It gets loud. I give her that. It'll get loud, especially with kids playing like that. You know, like I told you, if it gets to a point
right now, it's okay.
Go on that side, whatever they want to do, just so they can have some fun. I try not to get on them like that. You know, we all the parents are cool, so it's like I look out for them just like I look out for my own.
On one occasion, officials even speak with Owens after Lorenz accuses her children of bringing a dog near her property.
Aggravated.
Okay, so what's going on?
Okay, I've got young ladies who just keep coming by and think it's hysterical while I'm working. to bring their animals and scream while I'm on the phone.
So we have a dog, and please take the dog out. The other day she tells my son, I'm going to have you arrested and you're going to jail. He's 8, so he's terrified. He won't even walk the dog anymore.
So let her know all that.
Okay. So she's terrified. He won't even walk the dog anymore.
Owens explains her confrontation with Lorenz that happened nearly a year and a half before the deadly shooting.
This is joint area. You can't tell them they can't walk on this side. So he's walking the dog and he's all the way back towards the fence. I'm standing here on my phone. She comes outside to go to the car or something. She sees him. Oh, I told you I'm going to have you arrested. I'm going to have you arrested today. She has her phone out like she's taking his picture or whatever. Now he's trying to run back across the street. So I said, I'm sorry, what are you saying to him? And so I go over there. This is my private property. They can't have the dog over here. I told her, first of all, he's not on your property. He's on this side. You don't own it. And even if he was on the side, you don't own this either. You're renting this just like I rent over here, just like they rent over there. You don't own this. You can't tell them, technically, if they're not in your personal space, that they can't walk the dog or even throw their football over you.
Lorenz appeared in court on Tuesday, where she pleaded not guilty to the manslaughter charge. Right now, she's being held on more than $150,000 bond. Officials say she's likely due.
Okay, so there you all heard it. Now, here's the thing. On the day of the murder, and I'm going to show you a little bit of the clip from her being interrogated. Okay, she was clearly lying. Now, on the day of the murder, as I told you, a GK came over to confront her about throwing the skate at her son and taking his tablet. She knocked on the door twice. She didn't knock soft. She did knock hard. Okay, she banged on the door, and she told her to come outside. Okay, she asked her to come outside. Now, here's the thing, though. Susan Lorenz went and called the police. Okay, she went and called the police, and the reason she had the wherewithal to know that a GK was coming, she knew a GK was coming. I want you all to know that. Okay, she knew that a GK was going to come over there because after she threw the skate, now they don't show this in the documentary, but it's more so, it's said, okay, that the son told her, I'm going to go get my mother. And she said to him, go get your mother. Go get your mother. So she knew a GK was coming. So she gets on the phone and she makes a 911 call, lying, basically saying that people are harassing her and threatening her and this, that, and the third. I don't remember everything she said specifically, but she made a call. Basically, she was setting up her self-defense. She made the call to the police, 911, acting though she's scared or whatever. Somebody's bothering her. And so that now when she kills a GK, she's already got this call. But see, that was her undoing. And here's why. She called the police. Within the time that she called the police and the time it took for a GK to get to her house and knock on her door and to be shot dead was a span of about 2.5 minutes. Was a span of about 2.5 minutes because she told the police when she was interrogated, she basically told the police that it was like about 10 minutes between her calling the first time and her calling the second time, because she did call 911 again after she shot her. Okay, so she said it was about 10 minutes. So if it was 10 minutes, here's why this is very important. The timing of it is important because she's telling them that she was in fear of her life, that she was afraid. When she called the police, she told the police she's been harassed and everything, right? The police tell her that someone is on the way, that officers are responding. So had it been like 10 minutes and the officers had not shown up yet and she was still afraid or whatever and shot a GK, maybe she could have had the argument of self-defense. But because she called the police and then immediately after hanging up that phone, got her gun and shot through that door, killing a GK. That's why it was about 2.5 minutes. So she didn't even give the police time to show up. Because you just got off the phone 2.5 minutes ago, Susan, aka Karen. The police can't just teleport themselves there. She didn't give them enough time to get there before taking matters into her own hands. And if you were so afraid that this woman was trying to bust down your door, as she claimed, well, why wouldn't you have just locked the door, put something in front of it, perhaps like a chair, a dresser, I don't know, something to fend her off, if that's what you actually thought? But that isn't what she thought. Okay, that isn't what she thought. She just wanted to kill that woman. And so she shot through the door, and the door was made of metal, and she was not in any imminent danger. And because she shot her very quickly after calling the police, not even giving them a chance to arrive, that's why she's in prison right now, where she should be. And I think she should have actually gotten more than 25 years. Now, I'm going to go to a portion of the body cam footage that shows her being interrogated. Likes up, everyone, please like and share.
Saying through the door, did she say, you're not really sure if she said that?
She could have said it during her rants.
Okay. She's saying.
Hold on, let me scroll back.
Or like further back?
It was, I remember the table being there.
Okay, how were you holding the gun when you fired it?
Like
With
that.
2 hands?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you were initially in the kitchen when, well, you went to the restroom and then you were in the kitchen looking.
Nessa G says her call was time-stamped. She didn't think about that. She also had been researching stand your ground law. Yes, of course. And all that came out during this interrogation. It sure did.
For your phone while she was pounding on the door, and you say that this, you believe it was between 2 and 5 minutes.
Yes.
Was that total time before, from when the first pounding started to the time that you fired the shot, 2 to 5 minutes, or do you think it was shorter time than that or longer?
To me, it seemed like 2 to 5 minutes.
2 to 5 minutes
More,
total.
well, by the time I shot the weapon, at least 5 minutes.
Okay. Did she ever try to open that glass sliding door or open the door handle or anything like that, or was it just the pounding?
I just remember her pounding and pounding and pounding.
Okay.
Susan admitting she never saw AJ try to enter, that's exactly what prosecutors want to hear, because now they can say there was no forced entry.
Kind of.
And that's right. That's another thing they got her on, because the door never came open. The door never came open, so she was never in any imminent danger. Now, if a GK had literally knocked the door off its hinges, that's totally different. Now you are in danger. And if someone's angry enough to knock a door off its hinges, absolutely, you should fear for your safety. But that didn't happen.
Help us get a better time frame. From the time that you called 911, these kids are on my property again, they're yelling, what happened that first 911 call? That time that you hung up with 911, how long before she showed up and she was pounding on the door after you hung up?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay. So about 10 minutes after you disconnected and they said, hey, we have deputies on the way, 10 minutes after that is when she started pounding on your door. Okay. And you say anywhere.
Nandy says her taking his tablet was theft. I wish she had called the cops to report that instead, but I do know the reflexive reaction of most mama bears. Well, this is all true, beloved. Okay, this is all true. Here's the thing. I wish she had done that also, because people like this, let me tell you something. You don't engage them, because these people are cowards. Most racist devils are cowards. They're either going to attack you when they have a weapon and they know that you don't, or if they have multiple people with them, like a group, and you're by yourself. They're absolute cowards, and they usually feel like the law is on their side because of their complexion. So that being said, GK, I really wish she had not gone over there, but of course that was her motherly instinct. You threw something at my child. Now I'm pissed off. But see, this is why we cannot let anger control our thinking, because then you lose your logic. Because logically, when the kids came and told the GK that Karen had thrown Susan, aka Karen, had thrown something at them and also had taken his tablet, then a GK could very well have called the police and reported her for theft and for battery, for throwing something at him. Okay, and that's what she should have done. And Susan would have been the one in jail. And do you know how much more angry she would have been than she was all the other times? Because all the other times she's calling the police on them, trying to get them arrested. But had they flipped the script, because they actually had a reason for her to be arrested. I just wish it had played out differently, but sadly it did not. There's nothing we can do about it now.
You believe from 2 to 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there, and I just want to be clear, 2 to 5 minutes from the first time she pounded to the time where you felt in danger enough to pull the trigger?
Yeah.
Okay. And how many times, I know this is, how many times do you think she was hitting your door during that time frame that you believe is about 2 to 5 minutes?
She just kept pounding it. Just kept pounding it and pounding it.
So just
She was
more
screaming.
than 5, more than 50? Like,
God, it had to be, I don't know. I can't even speculate. I just remember her pounding and pounding and screaming and yelling.
okay. And did you call 911 immediately after?
As soon as I found my phone.
Okay. How much time do you think after you fired the shot?
A few seconds.
So within a
Less than-
minute?
within a
And
minute,
you
yes.
immediately called 911?
Yes.
Did you call anyone else before?
No.
Did you call anyone else after?
No, I don't think so, because you guys were here. I mean, you guys came right away.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
What's with the racial statements that everyone's saying that you made? I mean, have you ever used the N-word and they're using it against you? Have you said it in passing or something?
This is no longer about noise complaints or fear. They're
Have phones out in the neighborhood. A lot of them have tablets that record video. So when we talk to these people and we talk to them, they tell us something, but we have to kind of verify that. So we ask them the same questions. Do you have any video, audio, anything that would document as what you're saying is true? So when he's asking you questions like that, sometimes we have to ask questions that we already know the answers to. And it's not to try to trick someone. It's just to try to see how credible they are and how reliable their statements are. So when we ask them something that we already know the answer to, and if they answer us and it matches up, then some of the stuff that we're still trying to learn and put the pieces together to, we have more credibility and believe in that. Again, he was referring to some of the racial statements that have been alleged. Where does that come from? And like, is there something more, like, did something happen in the past, or is that how you were raised, or is it just something because these kids are just always like
When I was 12 years
antagonizing
old,
you?
they're forever antagonizing me. When I was 12 years old, some girl in middle school thought I was some other girl. And it came down to where I was stuck in a phone booth, and at least 35 other people were around, all blacks. And so they ended up calling the police, and he had to disperse the crowd.
Okay, and what ended up happening then? I mean, anything?
I had to leave school early every day. I couldn't be around. I couldn't do any extracurricular activities.
Now she's sitting here telling a sad, sap story, trying to make it as if, yeah, it was a hate crime, Sierra. It absolutely was. She should have been charged with that. Now she's sitting here trying to tell a sad-ass story, trying to explain why she was afraid. Girl, bye.
Just had to be very careful at school.
Oh, wow.
And so it's just, it was craziness.
So, I'm sorry, how did that, I mean, you're kind of describing it, I could take a guess, but I mean, how did that make you feel towards your classmates? Did you have friends at that school?
Yes.
Okay. So you had people that you could confide to and be friends with. But you said that you had to be escorted to the bus or something like that? Or?
No, I left 5 minutes early every day.
You had to leave early every day? Okay. And how old were you when that happened?
12.
12. And, I mean, it sounds like there's been some issues is that something that's caused problems with you for the rest of your life?
No.
No, that doesn't, okay.
I don't believe so.
Okay. So we're just trying to figure out where some of these, we heard that you said the F word and the B word. These are what the kids are saying.
I definitely dropped F-bombs.
Okay, and
Definitely.
what are you saying the F word to?
Pick your fucking shit up.
referring to stuff on the ground or something. And when we say the B word, what are you referring to that? Who are you talking to? What are you saying when you use that language?
B word.
Yeah, which I'm assuming is bitch, but I don't really know.
Okay.
Have you said that word to them?
Remember.
Or the bastard, possibly bastard.
Could have been either one.
Yeah.
Are those words that you've used when you're outside around the kids or something like that?
I guess if they were really annoying me, I may have let one slip.
Okay. And how would they really annoy you? Like just...
Sierra said,
Okay.
Sierra said, is this a cop or a psychiatrist? He's baiting her, beloved. That's what he's doing. He's doing a good job of it too. He's trying to make her comfortable so that she spills the tea. And I'm going to tell you something else that they did that I peeped. Okay, so at some point during this interrogation, they asked her if she wanted to write anything to the children about her killing their mother. I knew what they were doing. They were trying to get her to write out a confession. Okay, like hoping that she would tell exactly why she did it or whatever, or what happened. Give more details, basically, to help them with the case. But she clearly knew what they were up to. So she wrote to the children, I'm sorry for your loss. I never intended to kill your mother, but I feared for my safety. She said something along those lines. So she clearly knew what she was doing and what they were up to. Now, I'm going to fast forward in just a couple of minutes to the part where they're trying to take her to jail and she's not wanting to go.
The screaming, and that would maybe let one slip. Okay.
But the girls would do something so stupid. I've never seen anything like this before. They would go face to face with one another and see who could scream louder.
Yeah.
5 feet outside my door. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, why? I want to see who screams louder. I'm like, take it over to your house.
Sure. Okay.
She's lying. The kids didn't do that. Okay, the kids did not do that. She's making this up.
So Detective Stith has been talking to you about the timeline, okay? And some of the work we've done. Now, this is a picture that I drew. I am not an artist at all, but when I tell you some of the work we've done, we spoke to all the people over. This is your house, by the way. Okay, this is we'll put an S for you. We spoke to everybody in these buildings. We spoke to them all in these buildings, and we talked to anybody that had cameras that would see different areas. These cameras, they hear things. We're able to hear audio, we're able to hear things like that. And everyone we interviewed, I pretty much got the same, Detective Stith, I think we all got the same statement from every single person we interviewed. We lined up, well, we didn't line them up. These people were interviewed in different locations. Some of them were interviewed in different buildings, in different places. I interviewed them at different houses, and all these people provided me similar statements, okay? No one that provided these, now these people could hear her talking. Okay, because she was talking loudly. You said that you could hear it through the wall, and I can agree with that. Okay, she made a statement, something to the effect of, "Why did you take my kid's iPad?" Okay, somebody heard her say that.
I never touched an iPad. I never saw the iPad. I don't know what this iPad is about.
A tablet or something like that?
Again, no tablet, no iPad, no electronics at all. It was never there, or at least I never saw it.
Okay.
So I have no idea.
Was she, maybe she's wrong, but was she asking you about a tablet or accusing you of something with a tablet or an iPad? I don't know if it's an iPad or a tablet. She could have? She could have. Okay.
Because Susan lied and said that a GK was banging on the door threatening to kill her. Okay, threatening to kill her. That's not at all what she did. That reminds me of when Tisa Tell's lying self said that me and Ratchet were threatening to kill her and do her worse than Diddy did Cassie. These Karens are something else. But let's continue.
You seem unsure of some of the stuff she's saying through the door. Did she say, you're not really sure if she said that?
She could have said it during her rants.
Okay. So she's saying these things. The thing is everything that we've learned so far, I have not learned of her ever saying to you that she wanted to get into the house. It sounded more like she wanted to talk to you outside of the house.
How do you want to talk to outside the house when you're banging and screaming?
The GK literally told her to come outside. So she did not want to come in your house, lady. She literally was banging on the door telling her to come outside. I know you're in there, come outside.
Yeah.
That's not reasonable.
One of the people said that she said, come outside.
That's not, I'm sorry.
Come
That's
out.
not what?
It's not reasonable and prudent. I mean, you just don't.
See how fast the detective caught that?
And you're shaking. Is your memory affected regarding this incident in some way?
I just remember being terrified that she was banging and screaming, and I just remember hearing her say, "I'm going to kill you." Her son, earlier in the night, before I called the police, I don't know how old he is, but he said, "I'm going to make sure you get killed tonight."
Which son? She has 2 sons.
I know. I don't remember. It was one of her sons, but he was there. He's like, "I'm going to make sure you get killed. I'm going to make sure that you know." And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
You all know the son never said that to her, right? You all do know the son never said that, right? She said the boy told her, "I'm going to make sure you get killed tonight." Now, why would that child say that? Okay, this lady is a piece of work.
Has this person ever shown you a weapon or anything like that?
No, but I mean, the little kid said it, and then all of a sudden his mom's coming over and she's banging and screaming. And
now I asked you this earlier, you said you can't see out there, but you've only seen her a few times.
Mm-hmm.
What means does she have to harm you through the wall?
Like I said, she was banging so much, everything was shaking and moving.
Now that house,
Which I couldn't believe because it's a cement block house.
That was my next question. So it's a cement block house, and the door, the deadbolt was activated, right?
The deadbolt was activated, right? And you just didn't have the chain lock?
I was going to say, I remember I didn't have the chain. I'm not quite sure if I had the deadbolt on or not.
Okay. I believe the last time
If you're so scared, why didn't you put the deadbolt on? Witch?
we talked, you said you had the deadbolt, but you didn't want to get back close to the door to do the chain, is from what I recall. And you said you had the extra long deadbolt just installed, recently?
I'm going to fast forward.
Glass sliding door.
Yeah.
She pound on that?
She may have, I don't know. All I kept thinking is she's going to gain entrance, she's going to kill me.
And that's why I asked you earlier if you recalled, if she tried to, was that door locked, the sliding glass door?
Yes.
Was that safe? Do you have like anything?
I had, I think there was a wood piece in there.
In the slider?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't recall if she tried that door?
I just remember lots of pounding.
Lots of pounding.
You know, just to me it was just an enormous amount of pounding, screaming, yelling, and you know, I felt like she was going to come through that door.
And I think Detective Pender touched on it. Like in your head, what during the panic, during all these thoughts, what did you feel that was going to happen?
And she's going to come in there and beat the shit out of me until I was dead.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I felt. I mean, I don't understand why she came over my house. If there was all these issues and problems, why didn't you just call somebody? You know, that's, to me, that's what you would do if you're normal. You know, that's a normal thing to do. If something happens to me, I call the police. You know, like, okay, you know, the kids are being mine or she's banging and, you know, but when I couldn't find my phone and everything, I was just like, shit. You know, I honestly, I felt she was going to kill me.
Okay, so during that time, you had hung up with 911. You still estimate approximately 10 minutes before the banging started.
Yes.
And then you saying anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes or longer that the banging and the yelling lasted. However, as Detective Pender mentioned, we've reviewed video.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked to multiple people out there who all kind of give the similar. I mean, everybody's perspective is different, and that's why I asked you this same question a couple of times, because people's perspectives, we could be both looking at the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
and later on you asked me you asked us the same question, and we have different reactions, different answers,
Mm-hmm.
because we focus on different things, we remember different things. That's why everybody's unique, and that's just the way it is. But to be that similar in some of the specifics of what we're really looking
Mm-hmm.
at, we're talking about a very tight, a much more tighter time frame of this incident that happened at your front door before that shot was fired. So is that possible? Is that feasible that it was a shorter time frame?
To me, it felt. I mean, I'm giving you what I felt and what I thought it was.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
Now that you're out of the moment,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think that she could somehow get through that wall now that you're out, now that you're not in the house anymore, and that
I
you
still feel that fear. I just still feel she was coming at me. I'm sorry. It's what I feel.
Okay.
I've just, you know, it's been playing in my head over and over again, and I just kept thinking of that and how terrified I was.
Was your goal to shoot and kill her?
No.
What was your goal?
To shoot, and hopefully, you know, she'd hear the shot and dissipate.
But you took aim at the door, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And the goal was to strike the door and to dissipate it. I'm having a really hard time making this jump here, that this unarmed person on the other side of the wall is somehow gonna get into your house and kill you. I'm just really having a hard time getting there. I've been doing this job as a homicide investigator for several years, and I've seen houses that are made out of like pretty much would be paper mache. Okay, doors that are so thin, like balls of wood you could just push through. And this is a block house with a solid door. I've seen cases before where there is an angry spouse and let me back in the house, you can't throw me out, and they'll kick the wall as hard as they can, and they're not getting in some of these doors open inwards, outwards.
I don't know I can't take it back. It's transpired. It's in the past. I don't know what the hell to do. It's just.
The office is.
Now, this is where they leave her in there by herself, and they've already asked her, does she want to leave or write something to the kids? Okay, now I think it was Byron B that asked, do I think that the police were trying to see if she showed remorse? I think that it was safe to assume that they knew she didn't have any remorse, because the day they showed up on the night in question where she murdered a GK, she didn't have any remorse then. She wasn't crying. She didn't seem upset. She didn't seem bothered. I would think that if anyone killed someone, even if you felt that you had to because you were fearing for your life, that you might feel sad, or you might feel upset at least, or anxious, like you would not be calm, because that's not something that you normally do or anything that you ever wanted to do. But if you're a whole cold-blooded killer, a Karen, someone who wanted to take someone out because of anger, not fear, then, you know, this is how you would react. And pay attention how she's sitting there casually drinking her water. Now she's going to write something to the kids. Okay, let's get back into it.
What's going on?
I just can't. I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, we're to that point where that's what's going to happen. Obviously, this isn't a conviction. This is you being charged, and then you're going to have your day in court to present your side of the story. Okay, so you're going to go with this deputy.
No, I'm not.
You're going to be booked in.
No, I'm not.
And fingerprinted.
No.
They're going to take your pictures, and then you will have an arraignment in the morning.
I'm not going to. Sorry.
There's a phone down there. You'll be able to call whoever you need to call.
You all listen. She's telling them that she's not going. Okay, this is a whole Karen. She said she's not going, honey. And now she's all upset. See, this is how you know she had no remorse or no sympathy for what she did to a GK. Because she was never sorry. She was never showing any signs of emotion until now. Because now she sees that it's not going to turn out the way she wanted. And also, they asked her at some point during the interrogation, and the interrogation was almost 2 hours long. Okay, that's why I, skimmed through it. But they basically asked her several questions and caught her up in all these lies. Okay, they caught her in all these lies, and they also asked her, did she happen to Google or do a search about the stand your ground laws? He said, if I was to check your computer, I wouldn't find anything on there where you've been searching Stand Your Ground, like you were trying to plan something, right? And she said, oh, I looked it up this morning. Okay, so the answer was yes. She absolutely was looking into it. She had likely looked into it before that morning, before she did what she did. She knew what she was up to.
Right there in booking.
I'm not going.
But Susan, we are going. There's no change in that now. You're under arrest. In fact, we can probably go ahead and put handcuffs on her. Let's get you handcuffed.
No,
Stand up.
no, don't touch me.
Susan.
Stand up, Susan.
No,
Listen.
sorry, I can't
It can
do
go
this.
one of
I
two
can't
ways.
do
It can
this.
go an easy way or it can go a really hard way.
I'm sorry.
We don't want it to go the hard way.
I'm so sorry. I
Susan,
can't
put
do
yourself in our position. There's no choice in this. You're going over there.
this. I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Susan, you understand that from the point of the story that you've given us, that by refusing and resisting, that it's making you look bad, okay? And I understand your reluctance to want to go.
I just can't do this.
Okay, well, they have medical staff over there
As soon
that
as
can
you get over
assist
there, there's a
you.
nurse right in the front.
They can,
No.
you give them the
can't
prescription
do this.
medications that you're taking, all of that. They will assist you in making sure that you get the care you need.
No,
But
I can't
we're
do
going
this.
over there, okay? You're
I
gonna go
can't.
over there and,
I just can't do this.
okay, well,
Come on, Susan, stand up.
if
We
we
don't have
have,
time to
Seriously,
debate.
I can't do this.
okay, but
That tall cop is not playing around with her, okay? He's not here for the bullshit. Nandy said she was annoyed with the interrogation and wanted to go home. Exactly. Okay, Timothy said, get that ass up now. Right. That's what she needs to do.
you understand that you're under arrest and you're
I
gonna be
understand
taken to
I'm
the
under
jail
arrest.
one way or another, okay?
I don't care.
Susan?
I just can't do this. I'm sorry.
I don't. What you're saying and doing right now is not reasonable.
I know it's not
There's been
reasonable, but I
people-
just can't do this.
So when you say it's not reasonable, that doesn't make sense to me.
I understand. I just can't do this. I'm sorry.
Then this is why we're in this position here, Susan, is because the decisions you make are not reasonable. You make just like what
I'm
we're
sorry.
experiencing right now.
I'm sorry. I just can't do this. I can't do this.
I've had people sit in this chair that have done things and they get up, they walk out on their own accord. They've done some really bad things. Okay, you're not the only person, but I need you
I
to.
just feel horrible. I can't do this.
Okay, well, we're going to go to the jail. There's no changing this. There's no stopping it.
I don't care. Kill me.
We're not going to kill anybody. We're going to take you to the jail.
That's how you know she's full of BS. She said, kill me. She doesn't want them to kill her because at the end of the day, if she did, she wouldn't have shot through that door like she claimed that she feared for her life. Okay? Lady, you're not making sense.
We'd rather you walk on your own. We'd rather you just walk down there. It'd be so much better for everybody if we could just walk down
Can
there.
you just stand up for me?
No.
So what do you plan on sitting here the rest of the night?
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to die of a heart attack.
Well, like I said, they have medical staff over there. We want to be able to get you over there.
The quicker we get you over there, the quicker someone over there that's in medical can see you.
No, I just can't do
Susan, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna put you in handcuffs, and if we have to forcefully bring you out there, that's what we have to do, because we're obligated
really don't want
to
to.
take you to the jail now, okay?
Thank you for standing up.
Sorry, I just.
I understand that.
So, put your hands behind your back for me.
I mean, I
Thank you,
did-
Susan.
I didn't do this on purpose. This wasn't a purposeful act. I did not premeditate it. I didn't do anything like that. This is ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. You
We're gonna
did
knock this one.
premeditate it. Talking about she did premeditate it. Of course she did.
Susan Lawrence was arrested on June 7th, 2000.
Okay, so in the end, Susan was arrested, charged with manslaughter, and she was found guilty and sentenced to 25 years. Okay, 25 years. Now I'm going to go to an interview that they did with a GK's mother and one of her sons. Okay, here we go. Joy Reid actually interviewed them.
She simply knocked on the door. The woman shot her through the closed door with her son, 9 years old, standing next to her. The N-word, slaves, other profanity, B-words, you name it. This was not the first incident. This has happened numerous times.
That was the mother of Ajika A.J. Owens, who, along with family and friends, is demanding the arrest of the white neighbor who shot and killed her daughter, apparently over a dispute involving the victim's children. The shooting occurred in Ocala, Florida, this past Friday night. 4 children who you see here. Your home and where the shooter lives. Is that correct?
The field is across the street from my home. Her apartment is directly across the street from my home.
That lady's son right here looks exactly like her. Did y'all notice that?
Now you said her
So the
apartment.
field,
Go on.
correct. We live in an apartment complex. So the
Gotcha.
field is in between her home and another quadruplex.
So you were able to see the aftermath of what happened. Could you hear what happened as well?
I did not hear what happened. I was serving dinner to my kids. Her son, I have on video, banged on my door really loud. And I was like, what in the world? Like, he banged so loud. And I opened the door and he was gasping for air. And he's like, please, somebody help me, call 911. My mom's been shot. As soon as he told me that his mother was shot, I already knew who shot her, because I mean, there would be only one person out here that's been just so nasty to everybody.
Tell me about that.
The lady is just not all there in the head. She's really nasty to the children. She's really nasty. She throws racial slurs to the kids. She tells them if they don't get off their property. She's told my daughter that she was going to be raped. She said a lot of nasty stuff. She's called him retarded.
Did you all see the look on Joy's face when she said that Susan told her daughter if she didn't get off the property, she would be raped?
Done all types of stuff. We've made numerous police reports on this lady about her and the way that she talks to our children, and nothing has been done.
And were you surprised, given the fact that, as you said, that she has menaced and bullied the children before, that she was not arrested and charged?
I'm very surprised. I'm really more hurt than anything.
Do you trust the sheriff in this town?
I do not trust him at all.
Why?
Because he could have already made an arrest. If it was the other way around, she would have already been in jail.
And do you mind if I ask Kingston a question? Would that be okay?
Go ahead.
So Kingston, how are you, cutie? I understand.
I'm doing good.
Okay, I understand that you are best friends with Isaac. Is he your good friend?
Yeah.
Well, I understand that he was a hero, that he tried to call 911, and he was very heroic that day. Did you ever experience the lady that your mom is talking about being mean to you and your friends?
Yes.
What kind of stuff did she do?
She would always come outside and like tell us to get off her property, and she would just cuss at us and flick us off.
Let me say something else. A GK told the police at one point when the police were called, a GK had told them that, the kids had said something smart, like they had talked back to Susan when she had come outside. Like they were saying something back and forth with her or whatever. But a GK said she told them that regardless, she's still an adult. So you don't go back and forth with her. So her kids were respectful. Okay. She was teaching her kids to be respectful at the end of the day. Just like this lady here, because she just told her son to say, yes, ma'am. But let's continue.
And Mom, let me ask you this question. There is this story about her talking about her property. Does she own the apartment complex?
None of us own anything. We lease.
So
where
she is
the
a renter.
field is, where the field where the kids play, they play on the other side of the field. The field is so big, they play on the whole other side that's not even close to her apartment. She just intentionally would come out. Every time she would see the children out, she would intentionally come out her door to antagonize the children every single time.
And
she'd come
did you
out
know
and record the kids? She would record them. She would cuss at them, call them names. She would sit in her truck and turn her radio up really loud so that they would, not want to hear it and annoy them. She would beep their horn. She would lay on her horn in her truck for a long period of time to try to startle the kids. At one point she showed my daughter, the children were out there in the field and she waved a gun at them for them to get off of the field. She's done so many things to these kids.
Wow. Let me ask you one last question, and I want to ask a question about AJ. Did you know her well, and what was she like?
She was amazing. She was amazing. She was a great mother to her kids. She always went to work and came straight home to her kids. When she came outside with her children, she would throw football with not only her kids, but all of the kids. She encouraged my son to sign up for football, and I couldn't take him because I'm working. So she went and signed him up herself and took him to football practice and all that stuff. She's amazing.
And what do you want to see happen next?
I want justice. I want to see this lady in jail. She's a monster.
Well, I appreciate you coming. We all up here appreciate you coming down and telling us.
Okay, so very sad story. My condolences to the children, family, friends, and loved one of G.K. Owens. So unfortunate that she lost her life over something that absolutely could have been prevented. I wish the police had locked Karen up many of the times before when they had called the police and reported her for doing things to the children. Had they locked her up, maybe she would have stopped harassing those kids and just minded her own darn business. Okay. But now with that all being said, let's talk about a GK's mom, her heartbreaking response to the documentary. G.K. Owens' mom shares heartbreaking response to The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix. So last week, Netflix released heartbreaking true crime film, The Perfect Neighbor. It told the story of a local community rocked by the crimes of Susan Lorenz and manslaughter of mother of four, G.K. A.J. Owens. Now the mother of G.K. Owens has spoken out about what it was like to watch The Perfect Neighbor for the first time. Susan Lorenz was found guilty of the manslaughter of G.K. Owens. G.K. Owens was Susan's neighbor, and the black woman and mother of four was shot and killed by a single bullet. Susan Lorenz fired that shot through her closed front door. Now, incidents in the neighborhood had been going on for months and months, with Susan complaining that local children trespassed on her land whilst playing outside. On the day of the shooting, G.K. Owens' son told her Lorenz had thrown a rollerblade at him during an argument about where the neighborhood children were allowed to play. Now, Owens had gone around to Susan Lorenz's house to ask her about what happened when Lorenz shot through the door. Susan Lorenz was convicted in August of 2024 and sentenced to 25 years in prison in November of 2024. She's now serving time at the Homestead Correctional Institution in South Florida. Now, The Perfect Neighbor was only possible to make because of the mother of G.K. Owens, Pamela Diaz. She bravely consented to body cam footage of what happened being used, which meant the film was able to be created. The creator of the show shared just how Pamela responded when being shown the film for the first time. Gita Gandbir told Tudum, "I showed Pam the film when it was completed, and I said, 'Is this what you want?' She said, 'Yes, the world needs to know what happened to my baby.'" Now, in a further interview with Metro, Pamela said, "GK had struggles, but she had big dreams. She had an entrepreneurial spirit. She would toss around ideas for business, and in our later conversation, she would say, 'The world is going to know my name.' She believed it. As tragic as it is, the perfect neighbor is the vehicle in which the world knows her name. Now, I want you all to pay attention to that. GK said the world would know her name, and now the world does. Okay, I want you all to pay attention to how you can manifest things by speaking it. All right, those of you on the spiritual channel, you already know that. So the creator of the Netflix film also explained the importance of the body cam footage that made up the film that wouldn't have been possible to include without Pamela. For people of color like myself, for Black and brown folks, oftentimes police body camera footage is seen as a violent tool, Gita explained. The police come into our communities and afterwards they use body camera footage to criminalize and dehumanize us, to justify violence that they may perpetrate against the community. I wanted to take this footage and flip it on its head. Okay, so that's interesting because the GK's mother actually helped with the documentary, okay, as far as giving her consent for them to use that footage. Now, let's talk about GK Owens' 4 children, Isaac, Israel, Africa, and Titus. I love their names. Now, let's talk about where they are today. So Owens was a single mother to 4 children, sons Isaac and Israel and Titus, and a daughter Africa. At the time of her killing in June of 2023, Owens' children ranged in ages from 3 years old, and that was Titus, 12-year-old Isaac. Okay, he was the oldest. And I want to tell you all something that was really heartbreaking in the documentary. Isaac was the one who was with a GK when she was shot. And the police asked him if he had been injured. And he said if he had any injuries or if he had been hurt at all. And he said that he didn't have any injuries, but his heart was broken. When I tell you that was so hurtful to hear, he said he didn't have any injuries, but his heart was broken. And he was just crying and crying after they found out the mother was passed away. It's so sad. Okay, so anyway, Owens was described by those closest to her as a dedicated mother whose life revolved around her children. Despite working as a manager in the restaurant and hospitality industry, Owens still managed to find time to serve as the team mom for the children's football and cheerleading teams. She was super mom. Owens' mother, Pamela Diaz, told CNN, she worked hard to provide a better life for them. So Owens' son, Israel, who was only 9 years old at the time, was tragically, at the time that his mother was tragically killed, he was by his mother's side when she was shot through the door by Lorenz. Okay, so that was Israel, not Isaac. I'm sorry, it was the 9-year-old. Okay, and here's another thing. These children say they feel guilty because they feel like if they had not left the tablet behind, then the mother, GK, would never have gone over there. So they blame themselves. And that is just so sad that they're already traumatized and losing their mother, and now they're blaming themselves for it, for what this wicked woman did. So anyway, according to the Ocala Gazette, on the evening of June 2nd of 2023, Israel was playing in a field near Lorenz's apartment with his older brother, 12-year-old Isaac. They played basketball in the street. Israel left his tablet in the field, and when he went to retrieve it, Lorenz allegedly threw a roller skate near him, hitting him in the foot and reportedly breaking the tablet. Now, she also swung an umbrella at another of Owens' sons. She called him racial slurs, said, "This is not the Underground Railroad, you slaves." This is what she said. Okay, Diaz later claimed this in the on The View. Lorenz admitted to calling the children racist slurs per the arrest affidavit. So after the boys informed their mother of what had occurred, Owens, accompanied by her 12-year-old son Isaac, or Israel, went to Lorenz's doorstep to confront her. While Owens and Israel stood on the doorstep, Lorenz fired a single shot through the door, striking Owens in her upper chest. She was met with a bullet through a locked metal door with a 9-year-old son standing next to her, Diaz said. She could have killed that little boy with her stupid self. Not only was Israel next to his mother as she was shot, but Isaac also witnessed the shooting. He called 911 and ran to a neighbor's house to get help. I opened the door and it's Isaac, her oldest son, and he's like gasping for air. This is what the neighbor Phyllis Wills told NBC. That's the lady that you just saw in the interview. He can't even barely talk, and he's like, "The lady shot my mom." At Lorenz's trial in August of 2024, Owens' two oldest sons, Isaac and Israel, were listed as potential witnesses, as both were present as the deadly events of June 2nd, 2023 unfolded. Diaz, Owens' mother, shared in a press conference that while she wished her grandchildren did not have to testify, if this is what it takes to get justice, and this is what we have to do. However, neither the state nor the defense ended up calling either boy to testify. Okay, that's good because they really didn't need to go through that trauma. Instead, the prosecution relied on neighbors, Lorenz's former landlord, sheriff's deputies, a 911 dispatcher, crime scene investigators, and forensic experts to present their case against Lorenz. The defense also presented neighbors and forensics and ballistic experts, according to the Gazette, the Akola Gazette. So with that all being said, they didn't even have to get the children to testify. There were so many people saying the same thing, and even her landlord spoke. Okay, because remember, she kept acting like that was her property, but it wasn't. Now, in the wake of their mother's untimely death, Owens' oldest children, Isaac and Israel, blamed themselves for the tragedy. Their grandmother revealed this on The View. Diaz said that the two boys had been on an emotional roller coaster since the shooting and were distraught over thinking that they were at fault for Owens' death. The 9-year-old feels as if he hadn't left his tablet, his mother would still be here. The 12-year-old, he couldn't do anything to save her. He was upset because he said in the documentary that he felt bad because he couldn't do CPR. He didn't know how to perform CPR on her to try to save her. Diaz spoke because he felt like he was already there and maybe he could have been working on it before the paramedics showed up. Diaz spoke more about the boy's guilt in the wake of the tragedy with MSNBC. In his soul, in his heart, it's his fault, she said, in reference to Israel, explaining how he told his mother what allegedly occurred with Lorenz prior to the shooting, which prompted the confrontation. She said, our 12-year-old blames himself for the death of his mother because he couldn't save her. He couldn't give her CPR. His words were, Grandma, I couldn't save her. That is so sad. Owens' family and friends, including her 4 children, gathered on the 1-year anniversary of her killing to celebrate her life. To honor her memory, one of Owens' children recited a poem, My Mother is My Hero. That was the title of it. Forever will she be in my heart. Owens' children also danced at the memorial service, paying tribute to their mom's joyful, vibrant spirit. I feel that they were dancing for their mom and she was smiling down on them. That's what the grandmother said. Since their mother's death, Owens' 4 children have been raised by their grandmother, but coping with the immense loss has not been easy for the young children. Following the shooting, Diaz revealed that Isaac was in trauma therapy and that she was researching counsel for Israel as well. Additionally, Owens' youngest daughter, Titus, who was just a toddler when his mother died, was confused, irritable, and inconsolable in the weeks after her death. Now, he was only like 3 years old at the time. So it's been very hard for the children. They were very young when they lost their mother, and it's something no child should have to endure. This is what Diaz told CNN in October of 2025. At the same time, they've shown strength and resilience that continues to amaze me. She continued to say, I can see the values my daughter instilled in them, her kindness, her love, her faith. And that means they carry a piece of her wherever they go. In addition to caring for her grandchildren, Diaz co-founded a nonprofit in honor of her daughter called the Standing in the Gap Fund. It aims at supporting families impacted by gun violence and racist violence to fight for legislative change, particularly in relation to stand your ground laws. Her name is now tied to change, Diaz told CNN. So, very heartbreaking story. Prayers and condolences out to the family once again. Glad that at least one of the sons is getting trauma counseling. Hopefully the other children will too at some point. So anyway, I would suggest you all do watch the documentary. It was pretty good. It really was. It showed a lot of insight. And also there is some ring door cam footage shown as well for where the neighbors, you see Israel or Isaac, you see him coming and knocking on the neighbor's door out of breath, saying that his mother's been shot. You see all of this due to the neighbor's ring door cams and things. So it is interesting to watch it. It's a good documentary, but I just feel like they could have done a better job had they actually interviewed some of the people in the neighborhood. So with that all being said, yes, they absolutely are traumatized, Tylene. Okay, so listen, with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Okay, and rest in peace. Okay, rest in peace to Doug Martin, who died in police custody. I'm going to keep you all updated on this because I definitely want to know what happened to this young man. For them to say that there was a call about a break-in, there was a brief struggle, as they call it, and then he was taken to the hospital where he died. Yeah, I'm going to need to know what happened in between there, okay? I'm anxious to know the cause of death. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, I love you all to life. Enjoy the rest of this day, and I will see you all in the morning. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace.
Hey, yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor. Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen,